Okay, 400 reasons why you should be at Clarke Auction Gallery Super Bowl Sunday sale. We have a great load this sale, starting with this alabaster top Napoleon III Buhl cabinet. It's one of two cabinets from the same estate. We have this one over here with a nice pink or rouge marble on top, nice bronze mounts and beautiful inlay. In this sale we have a lot of great carpets. We're going to start with this one here, which is an antique Lavar Carmen from a New York estate. And sitting atop the carpet we have these four brass inlaid and lacquered cane seated Regency chairs signed by a very good cabinet maker, English cabinet maker, William G, or Guy as we would say in Ireland. Here, one of my favorite things in the sale is this beautiful, look at the grain of this mahogany Louis Philippe desk, 3 drawers. Looks like ivory inlay here, hard to see because it's with the age and the finish on it, but nice string inlay down the legs, just a nice looking and very useful desk. Here we have a good size and very good quality terracotta figural grouping of 2 putti with a basket of flowers in there, but just super quality. The back here, nice mid-century mirror. Nice with the 2 toning, the gilding here and the silver gilt flowing over. As you'll notice, we got lucite chairs, probably from the 70s there, but someone else will explain that later. Here we have a nice piece of American furniture. Mahogany with the nice curly maple inlay on it. Late 18th, early 19th century American Sheraton secretary desk. Over here, Steve, we have very finely carved, possibly late 18th, early 19th century. You can see it's a good size. You look at me and I'm over 6 foot. Classical figure of a lady, but very beautifully carved from a New York estate. Moving right over here before we go into the main room and give you a general overview of the sale, I'd just like to focus on this good size Picasso Madura limited edition jug. You can see it under there. I believe it's called Circles, but what a nice size. These are getting rarer and harder to find. We have some nice decorative pieces of gilding here. Now into the main room for quite a wide overview because the other appraisers are going to focus more on the stuff. We have plenty of mid-century, as you'll notice along the floor, Steve. We have lots of carpets, lots of art and mirrors on the walls. These 2 cabinets here are a pair, very nice rosewood finish, very deco looking, but probably from the 50s with the nice brass legs. Look at the beautiful brass or copper style, very art deco looking handles to form a circle when closed. Moving right along, Steve, we have plenty of good custom used furniture in the sale. Not very hot in the market lately, but it seems to be picking up. We have this nice secretary bookcase, individual panes. Here we have a matched pair of Smeagol Coetzee little servers. And on top we have, sort of in an empire style, we have a pair of Smeagol Coetzee mirrors that sat atop them in the house. And here sitting on top of these is a very impressive pair of signed Caldwell Doré bronze candelabra lamps. Nice big size, beautiful condition, and one of the best makers, Caldwell. We have numerous pairs of end tables, pairs of love seats, clocks on the walls. We have provincial style French contemporary Hendredon dining set. We accept it in because it's in such good condition and a good buy for anyone out hunting for just some good quality used furniture of the house. We have some Victorian oak. We have a nice pair of metal etagères here. Lots and lots of carpets, all different sizes, all different designs. And here we have a really, really beautiful carved empire scroll arm sofa. Very finely carved, even has the eagle down here atop the claw feet. The upholstery is slightly out of the period, but that can be easily finished, but just super quality. Moving right along over here, Steve, we have, this is Smeagol Coetzee, and another very good contemporary furniture maker, very good quality. Right here. This is Hendredon, it's used furniture again, we have plenty of it. Here, adding to the amount of Buhl that we have a beautiful Buhl secretary desk, little secretary with all the brass inlay and leather top in there. Okay, Stephen, over here, a couple of my favorite pieces in the sale, not the most valuable, but 2 things I like is this beautiful French harvest style table with 4 drawers, beautiful patina, all original finish, and on top of it, we have this vintage boxed fishing set, very good for the collectors. As a lot of fishing collectibles, and it's unusual to find it in the box. Look at all sorts of bits inside there, reels and stuff, so that's nice, different. You can't, You can take the man from the flea market, but you can't take the flea market from the man. So I still like a lot of that stuff. We have lots and lots of lighting from a disbanded store in the city and lots of mid-century. Here we even have it's a reproduction, but a very large bronze figure signed Moreau. And with that, I'll bid you adieu, and I'm going to hand you over to the other appraisers.
Thanks, Ron. We'll continue the video walkthrough with a beautiful pair of antique Empire gilded bronze French urns from a very nice estate in Irvington. And here a pair of beautiful and unusual Royal Worcester sort of porcelain tusk vases with frogs and merriment. Aesthetic movement, I would say. And here's Steve from an estate in Manhattan, two bronzes, two 19th century bronzes, both signed, both Crusaders. This one's with ivory and two patinas, silver and patinated. A knight. From the same estate, a beautiful gilded plaque, French. And here from a local estate, one of three Tiffany lamps the woman inherited from her dad. This is a Tiffany harp lamp with a Quisel, signed Quisel shade. And here's a signed Tiffany base, silver plate in original enamel blue with an unsigned Favreal shade. It seems to be a period shade. We're not sure who made the shade. Hopefully it's Tiffany. And from the Irvington estate, a beautiful antique lacquer 4-panel screen. Needs a little work where it's split here, but it's a nice old one. Couple splits. And a Tiffany standing lamp base, no shade. A lot of interest in this. A beautiful leaded glass hanging dome. We don't know who the maker is yet. But if you can catch the light through that, it's really beautiful glass, a large size hanging dome. And from a Briarcliff Manor estate, a nice group of Bohemian glass. I hope we get some attention on this glass. There's some rarities in here. This glass was originally headed for the Corning Museum in upstate New York back in the 80s, but it never got there. Intercepted by a family member, I'm told. A Vanini Murano vase, mid-century. Nice shape, good colors. A Gallet vase, also from the Irvington estate, signed Gallet. A nice little lot of smalls here, a generous lot with an Empire bronze-mounted crystal, maybe a champagne holder, and a little English gilded bronze Tantalus, an unsigned but Baccarat quality dresser box. We have a lot of interest in this Bergman, signed Bergman bronze. From Irvington, a Chinese export lacquer tea caddy with original pewter inserts. Beautiful condition. And here, two little dresser boxes, 19th century, cut glass, cut to clear, ruby cut to clear, and a little ruby glass one, both French, probably French, 19th century. And here, Steve, one of many tray lots from an estate in Norwalk of all very good Asian things, some Japanese, some Chinese, a lot of ivory. This is a beautiful little signed Japanese group of people dancing, signed. And a tray lot of hard stone items here. If you look on our website, there's individual photos of all of these items. And from the same estate in Norwalk, another tray lot of antique ivories. I think most of these are Chinese, Confucius. Many of them are signed. Along this top shelf, Steve, are many tray lots of very interesting Asian items, some Japanese, some Chinese. If you look on our website, you'll see detailed photos. This is a particularly good lot of ivories, including this little Chinese Fu Dog seal, ivory seal, meticulously carved, and two vases with ink calligraphy, poems, I guess. There's very minute inscriptions on both of these vases. Anyway, one nice lot. And here another lot with Satsuma. This is mostly Japanese. A beautiful little Satsuma vase. An ivory group of people in a eggplant, I suppose. And just more, Steve. A nice hardstone lot of jades and carnelian. I think this might be a good old one here. Some of it's 20th century. And here, Steve, from the Irvington estate, they need a little repair, but a good pair of first period Empire gilded bronze sconces. We have all the parts, if you can pan in this little pile here. They just need to be put back together and a little repair. And from the Norwalk estate, a very large antique gilded bronze Buddha. This comes with a bit of information, a provenance that you can see on our website. Nicely detailed on a 20th century wood base, but an antique bronze Buddha. To stay on Chinese, an antique enamel, or vintage anyway, enamel decorated, late 19th, early 20th century, enamel decorated punch bowl. And here, Steve, a beautiful, little larger than most that we get, 19th century Chinese hardwood stand with an inset marble top. They're always nicely carved, but this is a good size. And from our Irvington estate, an 18th century, probably Italian, we'll call it continental, but a little basin stand, original toll basin. Needs a little bit of work, but a nice antique one. Classical or neoclassical, Pompeian style, I guess. And just came in today, a matched pair of early 19th century British colonial armchairs, neoclassical, very nicely detailed with the little carved voluted arms and the reeded legs, high legs. An extra nice pair of British colonial armchairs. And one of our key items in this sale is this pair of Meissen Fire and Ice, I believe they are, ewers, large Meissen ewers. You can go on our website to get the condition report in detail. There's a lot of little condition issues, but they're magnificent and worthy of restoration. Apparently it's originally a set of 4 allegories. We have 2. And a lot of interest in this pair of Syrian folding chairs, probably late 19th century. Oh, maybe they don't fold. And this, oh yeah, they do fold, pardon me. A little pair of Syrian inlaid mother of pearl folding chairs. And here a mid-century, actually I think it's dated 1970 or 80 something, but by an Israeli artist, a good quality bronze plaque. Again, refer to our website for the artist information and details. And just a couple things to discuss back here, Steve, is this 19th century, probably early 19th century, painted cupboard. Surely this must have come from a country store. It's got wonderful little celluloid numbers. I think it's French. Came out of an estate up near Newburgh. Anyway, if you can use something of this size, it needs a little repair over here, but if you have room for it, it's a wonderful and useful cabinet. And from the same Newburgh estate, a good selection of antique needlepoint rugs. Here's one of probably 6 or 8 needlepoint rugs in this sale. We had some in the last sale from the same estate. And here what I think is a Bessarabian flat woven carpet, again, vintage. I wish it didn't have all these items on it to see this beautiful pattern in very good condition. A good sized pair of 19th century French gilded and patinated bronze putti candelabra on original marble sockles turned into lamps. And one of our rarest items in this auction is a pair of Minton garden stools, garden seats, 19th century. But not only are they manufactured by Minton, but designed by Pugin, Augustus Welby Pugin, the famous Gothic revivalist, in very good condition. You can see an example of these in the Detroit Institute. To end my segment, again from the Norwalk House, is a little group of walking sticks, umbrellas, but this is a particularly fine one, carved ivory, as an eagle or hawk with glass eyes. There's a Japanese samurai sword in here, and several other ivory, an ivory umbrella handle here. And from a house in Tuxedo Park, a large Asian punch bowl. We just called it Asian. It's got Chinese characters, but I'm not so sure that it's Chinese. Nevertheless, it's antique and it's a beautiful bowl in very good condition. And here a Navajo eye dazzler carpet, I think I can get away with saying. Has a couple of little spots on it that could use a repair, but basically it's in good untouched condition. And from the Norwalk House, and one of my favorite items in this sale is this vintage diorama. I guess they're Japanese is what I think. They came out of the Norwalk House where almost everything was Chinese or Japanese. A little diorama of steel and brass edged implements. There's no marks on it, but I'm sure that it's Japanese and it's very fine quality. I've never quite seen anything like it. Steve, one more item I forgot. A pair of antique or vintage cast stone garden ornaments of good size and good color from an estate right up the street here in New Rochelle. Beautiful quality, untouched. And now I'll turn it over to Nelia. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. I'd like to start here with this wonderful Thomas Hill oil on canvas. It's a nice Yosemite scene of the Yosemite Falls, dated 1881 on the reverse. Beautiful quality painting. Thomas Hill is a contemporary of the Hudson River School, working out in California and out west, so really associated with the Rocky Mountain School of Art. Not only is the quality and subject exactly what you want for Thomas Hill, but this has some nice literature involved as well. It was illustrated in this encyclopedia of Western American artists by Peggy and Harold Samuels. I'll show you the illustration quickly. And there it is, our painting right here. And this book will accompany the lot. And just next to it, here we have an oil by Michael Lotinero. He is a contemporary Pittsburgh artist, up and coming. There's a lot of information available about him. Really nice designer's pieces. We have 3 of these in this sale. Kind of modernist bordering on surrealism, would work well in a contemporary home. Just next to it is one of 3 Bernard Buffet pencil-signed lithographs. This here is an artist proof of a church. We have a second lithograph of a church in this sale, as well as a still life litho, all pencil-signed from the same storage unit. Up here on top, we have a great piece of pop art by Peter Max. It's a seriograph of the iconic American flag with heart. And it's surrounded by an artist's frame, also a printed frame by Peter Max, and it is hand-signed down here in the lower right-hand corner. Just across the hall, we have a wonderful oil by Valentine Prax, a French 20th century female artist, well known in her own right, but also the wife of Russian sculptor Osip Zadkine. But you can see she's got her own style and her own way of painting. This is a nice up-close work focusing on the figures, the wood gatherers, the expressions in the faces. Just a lovely piece. Down here we have a small pencil study by Edward Burne-Jones. He's mostly associated with the late pre-Raphaelites and the aesthetic movement, a British artist, 19th century. Although this is just a study and we have not been able to pin down the oil on canvas that it was a study for, some of these graphite works can command strong prices at auction, and we hope some lucky bidder will be able to identify the work. Up here we have two dry point and aquatint etchings by Louis Icart. This one here is called The Joy of Life, and across the way you have Youth. Both in nice decorative frames, good packages. They're nice, clean, just a little bit of toning, but otherwise in very good condition, pencil signed with the artist's windmill blind stamp. This acrylic on canvas is perhaps my favorite work in the sale. It's by Paul Jenkins, an important work by the artist 1967 to 1968. Entitled and inscribed on the back, Phenomena Arabic Call. You can see the way he's manipulated the paint, the different textures used and colors here, nice movement across the canvas. Just a wonderful piece, and we hope it will do well and please the Upper East Side consigners. On this wall we have a collection of important pieces by African-American artist Keith Duncan, sort of in celebration of Black History Month, February. We have about 50 pieces by this artist that all came out of a local storage unit. He's really an up-and-coming contemporary artist focusing on social and political themes, some of them bordering on surrealism. It's just a wonderful collection. There are just a few of the 50 here, grouped in lots of about 3 to 5. It would be a wonderful way to start a collection. He's active in New York and Atlanta. I'll show you a few more pieces as we move around the gallery as well. Up here is a wonderful, detailed, almost illustrative watercolor by Kathleen Piunti. It's a great New York scene. You have Christopher Street, you've got the subway, Village Cigars, Kodak film developing, becoming almost a historical illustration at this point. This also out of a local storage unit. This is a bronze by Sir Jacob Epstein called Ellen Jansen, Smiling Head, and a nice brown patina. This has been cast in a greenish patina as well. You can see her iconic haircut there and the subtle smile on her face. It's a very nice casting. This came out of a Tuxedo, New York apartment. And from the same estate come a collection of bronzes by an Italian-American, California-based artist, Puccinelli. So these two will be sold together. We also have 2 more lots, also in groupings of 2 by the artist, a nice modernist figural piece and some other busts, but really nicely done. Here we have a nice old master oil on canvas, The Capture of Christ. Nicely painted scene, although a bit dark, certainly could use some work and some cleaning. If you'll recall in the last sale, we had a nativity scene, also an old master that sold for $13,000 on the hammer. So it's a nice work. We hope this one takes off as well. And just next to that, a small little still life by Kulik in a nice, probably artist-made frame. This is a later 20th century, or possibly 21st century work. Nicely done. And just above it, I want to point out this very modernist work of rabbis. It is signed in the lower right corner, although we have yet to make out the artist's signature, but we thought it had a wonderful look and significant subject. In theme with our African-American pieces, this is an incredible work by Daniel LaRue Johnson. You can see the bold colors, lines, and shapes here. An impressive piece, large scale. We have a second I'll show you in a moment, also by LaRue Johnson. And just below it are a few more of the Keith Duncans that I mentioned to you earlier. These are framed pieces. This is a terrific New Orleans scene. Some great details. This is the other Daniel LaRue Johnson. And both of these works are from the 1970s, 1971, I believe. Clean, crisp Nice lines. Also a good designer piece for a large wall. This beautiful spring landscape with the architecture is by an Austrian artist, Alwa Arneger. This is one of 2 pieces by the artist that we have in this sale. This one's bright and colorful. The other one we have is a woman walking down a path with cattle and a village in the background. Nice paintings. And here, I don't know if you can see this, it is framed behind glass, but a nice 1970s piece with just a great feel, possibly a southwestern scene, signed Trujillo, 1971. The figures in the bar, and a nice heavy frame, also of the period. Up here, we have the classic scene Aurora, after Rennie. This is a 19th century copy of the painting, but nice large size, very decorative, well-painted drapery, nice faces. Last but certainly not least is this mid-century work by Richard Anuskevich. Now, he's primarily known as one of the forerunners of op art and worked closely with Joseph Albers. This is a 1966 work where he had already moved into op art, but you can see it's still a representational piece with figures kind of in the Cubist tradition. This does have labels on the back. It's the Friends of 13, as well as some gallery labels. So there is good provenance here. There are a ton of other paintings in this sale, somewhere near 100, so we hope you'll come and see them. I'll send you over to Keen now, who's gonna show us some of the mid-century that's coming up. Thank you.
All right, thanks Nelia. All right, so we have a lot of mid-century in this sale. I'm going kind of quick, so just trying to keep up. Right here we have a Robert Indiana style TV set, kind of funky, kind of late 60s, early 70s. Below it is a really nice piece, really big. It's a Moreau contemporary French deco tapestry or carpet made of wool. It's brilliant, really nice, should do really well. We're gonna come right into here. Another little funky piece, a Broyhill Premier plastic drawer front and wood construction desk. Kind of has a Saarinen style bases on it right there. Right next to it we got a couple of industrial style chairs, a nice lamp au fan, pretty fun. There's a fan and a lamp in one if you're looking for something kind of utilitarian. Right here we have a great kind of mid-century chrome and like purple, blue velvet, really comfortable, really nice, should do really well in any kind of space. Next to it we have another kind of surfboard table, real mid-century style, nice lines on it, really long and big. Back here we have a really nice piece where we are a little unsure at first, but this seems to be a really important piece. Part of a Finn Jewel desk with the colored drawers, has the Danish writing on the back of the drawers for the color coordinations. Pretty cool, pretty fun. Underneath it, within the same lot, is a nice mid-century T-cart, cane, original bottom on that. I'm gonna follow you, you can follow me right back over here. You know, a couple of end tables, chrome and glass, tinted glass, another fold-out chrome and wood end table. Right here we have a 1970s Castigliano arc lamp, the Arco, maybe from Floss, the Italian lighting company. Heavy, heavy marble base, adjustable steel kind of neck on that. It could go in really any space with nice curves on it. These two right here are a pair of chairs. This one has a kind of a different lean on it, but the legs definitely need to be reset. Right here is unsigned, unmarked table, but we think is probably really important. It's a composite marble, nice wood block, solid construction, great mid-century look to it, and below it a modernist carpet that really complements both the pieces. You could come over here. Right here we have a Nakashima headboard. George Nakashima. We are still gathering the correct provenance documentation on this piece, but from where it comes from, we really have no reason to doubt the provenance. Great condition, great craftsmanship. And in terms of mid-century glass, I'll take this piece. This is a really important piece, Lino Tagliapietri, and it has two sides to it that really demonstrate the nice Vienna kind of construction to it. The first side is a construction that has a kind of delicate mesh, which is really hard to make, and on the back is a batato, which is kind of a beaten look that they use when they blow the glass. They kind of fill in the irregular cavities and they mill it, so it has this nice beaten look, a dual-sided look to it. It can present it from any side, really beautiful, perfect condition. You know, you really don't get much better than that in terms of mid-century glass. This here is one piece that I definitely want to show you. Probably a Peter Veet, a Danish maker. It's a nice boomerang table. It's unmarked, unsigned. But what's really special about this, it has the rare kind of slide out on the inner elbow that you don't really see too often, but it's in, again, great condition. And I think that that's the basics of what we have for the sale. I'm gonna wrap it up now and I'll shoot you right over to Whitney for the silverware. Thank you.
Thank you, Keenan. I'm going to go through the jewelry and sterling segment of our auction. To begin this segment, I'm going to start with a 14 karat yellow gold Tiffany & Company bracelet weighing approximately 100 pennyweights. Next is a miscellaneous sterling lot, which is really fantastic. And here I'd like to point out 2 Mexican sterling pieces. This dragon motif necklace, which I believe to be spratling, and this pin here, which on the back, I don't know if you can see, is inscribed MATL, which was a Mexican artist and designer who was known for her similar spratling works and to design for him, and we do believe that to be by Mathilde Poulat. And here we have a Art Nouveau floral brooch and some other miscellaneous sterling pieces. Next we have an etched glass and sterling Tiffany pitcher. And to continue with known makers, this is a Fisher water pitcher and a small Cartier footed bowl with a cobalt insert. Here is an extremely beautiful and rare Tiffany griffin footed bowl with some beautiful engraving on it. From the same Floral Park Long Island estate, we have a reticulated pedestal bowl with some floral work on the top. It is quite beautiful. Here we have a Tiffany lot of a pie server and 8 berry spoons with gilded bowls that are in the popular chrysanthemum pattern. To end our sterling for this sale, these are 2 separate lots of sterling serving pieces. To take note, in this lot of 9 pieces, we have 2 pieces of Hogan & Wade medallion ware and also some Reed & Barton, and this is in the Old Virginia pattern. This 6-piece lot also has a piece of chrysanthemum Tiffany & Company server. And to note, in our sale we also have some sterling flatware lots and some other really fantastic things for this upcoming sale on February 3rd. We hope to see you there. Thank you.